You may not know who Calvin Tilman is, but it's a safe bet that if you have anything to do with shale gas extraction or opposition to fracking, then you've at least heard of him. Tilman is the former mayor of Dish, Texas. He is also the man who raised the alarm over the environmental threat posed by shale gas extraction in his town. Calvin Tilman has just finished touring New Brunswick to sound that same alarm. I spoke with him from our studio in Moncton. Can you just explain in brief what effect you feel shale gas extraction, the industry, had on your town of Dish?
Well, Dish, we had a unique circumstance in that we have every aspect of natural gas drilling that happens in the town of Dish, and that has severely impacted our ability to peacefully enjoy our property. We have natural gas processing and the drilling and the odorization, and so we have odors and we have noise and we have a lot of these things that prevent you from being able to use your property. And so aside from that, some of these odors actually cause health effects. So
you felt strongly enough about the circumstances in Dish that you eventually left and took your children. Why?
Well, my children were getting periodic nosebleeds during the middle of the night when they were sleeping, and it coincided with this odor that I've been describing to you. And it became too much of a risk for us to be able to keep our children in that particular situation. So we felt we had to move. You
were concerned for their health and their future.
Absolutely, yes.
All right, here we are in New Brunswick. Why do you think your experience in Dish, Texas, has any relevance to what New Brunswickers might face?
Well, the story that happened in Dish, Texas has replayed itself in other places all around the United States, and I believe will replay itself here in New Brunswick unless people get involved and start thinking about what's going on.
Is your message that there is no safe way to extract natural gas from shale deposits?
My message is that you need to be thinking about what has happened in other parts of the country and think about that. Do you have to do this right now? Does this have to be done right now? Can we wait until there is a guaranteed safe method? Those are questions that you need to be asking yourself. I'm sure that the industry has put forth a lot of public relations and has tried to tell you the good side of the story, and they've lacked in telling you the bad side of the story. And so you need a balanced approach. I'm not here to tell you to do this or not to do this, but hopefully I can give you enough information that the decision can be made with eyes wide open and not eyes wide shut.
Well, one of the realities in New Brunswick is our government has been very clear that if there are natural gas deposits in shale in this province, we have to look seriously at whether they are a feasible source of revenue. We're heavily in debt as a province. We carry a yearly deficit. But on the other hand, the government is saying we will only do this if it is safe. What do you say to that?
Well, hopefully they're able to go in and they can define it and they can make sure that it's done safely. I'm asked that question a lot. Can this be done safely? If you draw this up on a board, it looks like it can be. Unfortunately, I've yet to see a place where it's being done safely and responsibly.
The government has promised that landowners will be protected, water supplies will be protected, and the industry itself will be rigorously monitored. Should we, is that sufficient at this stage in your mind?
Well, a lot of that, again, is theory. If I had a nickel for every time people told me what happened in Dish won't happen here because we're going to strongly regulate this, I'd be rich. The fact of the matter is that in order to do that, you're going to have to hire a lot of inspectors for your government to go out and do that. You're in a situation where you have a deficit every year anyway. Are you going to be able to afford the people to do that? And so until you answer all those questions, it's hard to say. Well, yeah, that's a good approach, and you certainly couldn't guarantee that this be done safely. If you want to do this, at least do this knowing that there's a downside and that there's going to be downside to that.
Calvin Tilman, it's been good talking to you. Thank you for your time today.
All right, thank you.
Calvin Tilman is the former mayor of Dish, Texas. I spoke with him from our Moncton studio.